Hello students, we will continue our study of classification of elements. In the earlier part of this lesson, we have studied Dauberainer's classification of element, Newland's classification of elements. We also studied limitations of these classification. The Russian scientist Professor Dmitry Mendeleev developed a periodic table during the period 1869 to 1872. His classification is the most important step in the history of classification of the element. He considered atomic mass as the fundamental property of the element. He classified all the 63 known elements in his periodic table, and later on, based on their physical properties and chemical properties, he transformed this arrangement into a table, and this is known as Mendeleev's periodic table. So for each element he made one card. He made 63 cards, one for each element, and on every card he wrote name of the element, its atomic mass, and then he arranged these elements in the increasing order of the atomic masses like this. He began with hydrogen. Helium was not discovered that time. So after that, lithium, then beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Neon was not discovered that time. So after fluorine, sodium, then magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. Then argon was not discovered. Then after chlorine, potassium, calcium. So in this way, he arranged all the known 63 elements in the increasing order of the atomic masses. Then he studied their properties, and he came to know that certain properties are repeated after a regular interval. For example, hydrogen shows similarity with the sodium. So he put sodium below hydrogen. Then potassium shows similarity with the sodium. So he wrote potassium here. In the same way, lithium shows similarity with hydrogen. So he put lithium also in the same group. Beryllium shows similarity with magnesium. Then magnesium shows similarity with calcium. Fluorine shows similarity with the chlorine. Then fluorine shows similarity with the bromine, with the iodine. So in this way, those elements which show similar properties, he put them into vertical columns, and these columns he joined and form a table, and this table is known as Mendeleev's periodic table. So important features of his table. There are vertical columns in his table. These vertical columns are called groups, and horizontal rows, these rows are called periods. To classify the elements, Mendeleev use the physical and chemical properties of the known 63 elements. The physical properties, the properties like the molecular formulae of the elements, then molecular formulae of their hydrides. What are hydrides? When elements react with hydrogen, they form hydrides. When elements react with oxygen, they form their oxide. So he considered the properties of the hydrides of elements, oxides of elements, also the properties like the densities of the elements, then the melting points of the element, boiling point of the elements. And after studying all these properties, he concluded, he came to know that the elements with the similar chemical properties are repeated after a regular interval. And therefore, he stated that the properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic masses. Now, this statement is known as Mendeleev's periodic law. So it states that the properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic masses. So what is periodic function? Any event that repeats after a certain interval is said to be periodic. For example, a Monday is repeated after a week. A particular month is repeated after 12 months. A season is repeated. Science is progressive. There is a scope for changing, modifying the inferences, conclusions with the help of modern techniques, modern means, by performing experiments. So these conclusions, intervals can be changed, and these things are reflected in Mendeleev's periodic table. And because of this, Mendeleev's periodic table shows some merits. So let us see what merits are seen in Mendeleev's periodic table. So first merit is the atomic masses of some elements were corrected as per their position in the Mendeleev's periodic table. For example, beryllium's atomic mass previously found, assumed beryllium's atomic mass was considered to be 14.9 and it was corrected to 9.01. So this was one merit. The atomic masses of some elements were corrected as per their position in the periodic table. Then if you see his table, you will find some vacant places in the periodic table. For example, after calcium, one vacant place is kept. So you will find 3 vacant places in the periodic table. Why the vacant places were kept? These were for the elements which were not discovered, which were not known. So Mendeleev left vacant places for undiscovered, unknown elements. He gave them the names Ika boron, Ika boron, Ika aluminium, and Ika. What are these? These were the names given to the undiscovered element by Mendeleev. Not only this, he predicted about their properties, their atomic masses and other properties. He made a prediction. After a few years, these elements were discovered. And when their properties were studied, it was found that the properties as predicted by Mendeleev, they were correct. So this was a big merit of Mendeleev's periodic table. So these elements were given name Ika boron, today we known as a scandium, Ika aluminium, today we know it as a gallium, and Ika silicon, today we know it as a germanium. So remember this, Ika boron, today we know it as a scandium, Ika aluminium, we know it today as a gallium, Ika silicon as a germanium. As we studied, when he was making this, developing the periodic table, inert gases were not discovered. After this table, inert gases were discovered. Now where to keep these elements? Mendeleev could put inert gases in his table without any disturbance to the table. He kept all these elements to extreme right of the periodic table, and there was no any disturbance to the periodic table. Now this was also a big merit of Mendeleev's periodic table. Now let us see some more demerits of this table. The first demerit was the whole number atomic masses of nickel and cobalt, they are same. It is 59. Nickel and chromium, their whole number atomic masses are 59, same. Now there was ambiguity, there was a confusion where to keep two elements with the same atomic mass. This was first. Second demerit, isotopes were not discovered then, those days. When isotopes were discovered, what are isotopes? Isotopes are the atoms of same element which have same atomic number but different atomic mass number. So as they have different atomic mass numbers, they have different atomic masses. So where to keep the newly discovered isotopes of given elements in the periodic table? This was a big problem in Mendeleev's periodic table. So this was a second demerit. Then elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic masses. So we see some difference in the atomic masses of two successive elements. And this difference in the atomic masses of successive element is not uniform for the element with the higher atomic masses. Somewhere the difference is 2, somewhere this difference is 3, 4, 5 like that. So this difference in the atomic masses is not the same, and therefore it was difficult to predict how many elements may be there, will be there between the two elements which are known today. So this was one demerit. Then position of hydrogen in the periodic table, this was also one problem, because hydrogen shows similarity with the alkali metals and halogens. What are alkali metals? The elements lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, etc. These are called alkali metals. So hydrogen shows similarity with alkali metals. Similarly, hydrogen shows similarities with the fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So these are called halogens. These are halogens, these are alkali metals. hydrogen shows similarities with both alkali metals as well as halogens. Now, where to keep hydrogen? With alkali metals or with halogens? This was a problem. Let us see how hydrogen shows similarity with alkali metals and halogens. Alkali metals are the metals namely lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, etc. They are called alkali metals. So, first group elements are alkali metals. Whereas fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, seventh group element, they are called halogens. So, hydrogen shows similarity with both alkali metals as well as halogens. Let us see how it shows similarity with alkali metals. Let us take one example of sodium, an alkali metal. When sodium reacts with chlorine, it forms NaCl. When hydrogen reacts with chlorine, it forms HCl. So, there is a similarity in the format of molecular formula NaCl HCl. Sodium reacts with oxygen, forms Na2O. When hydrogen reacts with oxygen, it forms H2O. So Na2O H2O. When sodium reacts with sulfur, it forms Na2S, sodium sulfide. When hydrogen reacts with sulfur, it forms H2S, hydrogen sulfide. So sodium sulfide Na2S, hydrogen sulfide H2S. So in this way, hydrogen shows similarity with the alkali metal sodium here. You can take potassium as an alkali metal and can show how it shows similarity with the potassium. Let us see how hydrogen shows similarity with the halogens. First, the molecular formulae of halogens. The first halogen is fluorine, F2, chlorine, Cl2, bromine, Br2, iodine, I2. So all these are diatomic molecules. They are formed by sharing a pair of electrons between two atoms. A single covalent bond is there between the atoms. Hydrogen's molecular formula is H2. So it is also diatomic molecule. It is formed by sharing a pair of electrons between two hydrogen atoms. So you can see H2, Cl2, Br2, again we can write I2. So it shows similarity with respect to molecular formula. Then reaction of hydrogen with the metals. When hydrogen reacts with a metal, it forms compound called hydride. For example, sodium reacts with hydrogen to form sodium hydride. Then sodium reacts with chlorine to form sodium chloride. Sodium reacts with bromine to form sodium bromide. So we see here NaCl, NaBr, NaI we can take, sodium iodide. So here hydrogen is showing similarities with the halogens. With what respect? Reaction with the metal. How metals react with the halogens, the same way hydrogen reacts with the metals. Next similarity, reaction between carbon and hydrogen forms methane, CH4. So this is a reaction between hydrogen and non-metal, the non-metal carbon. When carbon reacts with chlorine, forms carbon tetrachloride, CCl4. So here hydrogen is showing similarity with respect to reaction with the non-metal. CH4, CCl4. So here hydrogen is reacting with carbon to form compound whose formula is CH4. Chlorine is reacting with carbon to form compound carbon tetrachloride. So CH4, CCl4. We see similarity. And in this way, the hydrogen shows similarities with the halogens. So this